Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to finish this front panel area out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some bevels to it. Because if we look at the image, notice that the edges of this thing are nice and round. And ours is not. And that's a very important part of modeling realism. So let me go ahead and do this. Before I bevel any edges though, I have these extra loops here that I don't really need. So I'm going to select that edge right there. This edge here. I'm also going to select that edge. This edge. I'm going to click on loop. I'm also going to select this edge there. And this edge there, I'm going to select loop. I don't need those edges. Kind of going to get in the way of my beveling process, or my chamfering process I should say. I'm going to hit Control and Backspace to get rid of that stuff. Now let's go ahead and let's bevel this stuff out. After you select all four of those corner edges, we're going to go to Chamfer. We're going to chamfer this stuff out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the front view to help me out here. And what I'm going to do is increase the chamfer amount, and I'm going to increase the amount of segments. Maybe I'll give it about 8. Just try to match it up right there pretty good. Something like that looks pretty good. It kind of matches up with the image pretty nicely. I'm going to hit OK. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this edge here. I'm going to select its loop. I'm going to take that edge and select its loop as well. And it's going to select all this stuff for me. But it's going to miss some edges. 3ds Max doesn't know how to find those edges right here on the top. So I'm going to have to actually select those manually. It's a lot of edges to select. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these off the video. Go ahead and do the same thing. And when I come back, I'll have this stuff ready to go and ready to get chamfered. Alright, so I went ahead and selected all those edges. It took me about a minute to do that, maybe a little bit less. And now that I have them selected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Chamfer. You can see here my chamfer options are way off. I'm going to try a value of about 1. And segments is a little bit high. I'm going to go with maybe about 4 or 5. Looks good. I'll hit OK. If I do a quick render, that looks pretty good. Now, we do have a bit of an issue up here. If you look up here, and let me render this out from different angles so you can see. There's kind of a strange polygon shading going on right there. Okay? That's because that top polygon isn't being triangulated in the best way possible. Alright? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to triangulate that a little bit better. So I'm going to select this edge here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, I'm going to go to Insert Vertex, and I'm just going to click right here in the middle to insert a new vertex right there on that edge. Okay? If I render this out, you can see it, there's that strange edge right there. It's rendering out wrong. What we need to do is edit the triangulation. So I'm going to go to polygon mode, and if I select this polygon and I go to edit triangulation, we can automatically see the hidden triangles that make up the polygons, because a polygon is actually made up of triangles. Okay? It's very important. Now we can see, if I hit F2, you can see the triangulation on this top polygon. See all these little red dash marks? That's showing me the triangulation. Triangulation is not good. What we can do is, with that polygon selected, we can try to take a shortcut way out. We can select the polygon, we can come up here to tries in the modeling ribbon, and we can hit retriangulate, and 3ds Max will attempt to retriangulate it. In this case, it didn't work out too well. It's not really that smart. Can't figure out how I want to triangulate it, so I'm going to have to help it by doing it manually. What I'm going to do is, with the triangulation tool, I'm going to start taking some of these hidden vertices, click on one of them, and then click on that new vertex that we created. You can't really see it right now, but it's right there in the middle. And just start to do that with all of these triangles, or some of them. As long as you get a few of them, the other ones will actually try to line themselves up a little bit better. And just go ahead and retriangulate some of this stuff. Just takes a moment. And sometimes you may have complex geometry that where Max actually needs you to help it out with retriangulation. Okay, so now let me go ahead and render this out. Now you can see we don't have that issue anymore. We don't have that funny, strange polygon that went straight across the middle right there, so it's fixed. Okay, chances are the bottom polygon needs to do the same thing, but now that you know the technique, I can let you go ahead and do that on your own and not go over the process, over and over again. Wouldn't make sense. Okay, So that's how you retriangulate. So that's going to take care for beveling this thing. We're pretty much done with the front panel. I'm going to end this video here, and in the next one we're going to start working on another part of this object.